Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. So we got great news in the Czech Republic, and I could be wrong, but we got a massive wave which resulted in which will possibly put the ANO into power. The ANO is the Trump-aligned political party in the Czech Republic. This would transfer and the Czech Republic from a establishment globalist government to a more anti-globalist, anti-establishment, more ultra-conservative right-wing government, and this is what we need. I keep saying Czechoslovakia, but the Czech Republic or Czechia has been recognized as an atheist country. It is a country where there is more unaligned religious people compared to religious people in general. And although, despite this, the country seems to be less aligned with the West and more compromisable. This year, they have banned the hammer and sickle as a hate symbol. They've recognized it as a hate symbol recognizably. Although I'm against the idea and the notion of going around and banning and censoring symbols, because let's be honest, I can't even upload a history video. I can't actually upload. I have to be careful with the content I upload because I also do a history channel. Due to history, because World War II, I have to be careful of uploading historical songs because YouTube will take it down because it's hateful. Whatever. It's my intent is not to upload to be hateful. It's to inform, right? But of course, you get woke YouTube and banning everything because they don't like it. That's why I'm very happy that we're winning the culture war. But yeah, I mean, hey, it's rules for thee, not for me. And Czech Republic saying, hey, look, if we're banning the swastika, then we're going to ban the hammer and sickle because more people, believe it or not, have died under the hammer and sickle. 70% more have died under the hammer and sickle than under the swastika. So it's quite apparent. But we're talking about election results because it's a pretty big win. I knew this was going to happen because we've seen pattern after pattern after pattern in the Czech Republic. And it's become quite apparent now. So looking at the results, and I wish I could pull up my map, but I would have to go through my personal information to get that map. But believe it or not, I will be putting that map. I'll be adding that to the thing entirely. But this is your map of the results. You got the official results saying that, yes, you got a surge 8-seat exchange. Now, obviously, it's not the biggest gain, but you do have a huge collapse in the ODS party. That is the Civic Democratic Party. That is more center-right to right-wing. Basically, you're seeing the ODS go to the ANO, which was a exchange there. The Stand Party is a center-right party. So, yeah, Czech Republic's a center-right country, despite being mostly atheist, believe it or not. But the center-right is left-wing here in the United States American standards. They are they will back Kamala Harris all the way. The ANO is probably the only political party that won't. That is actually right-wing. That is actually Republican if you put it into American standards. But all of these parties are Democrat aligned, but best believe. But they'll say, oh, we are conservative here. We're conservative. You'll see the Czech Pirate Party, they've gained 14 seats. So out of the biggest gain, so the liberals will say, oh, well, our party gained 14 seats. Well, that's good news for you guys. So it's not necessarily a huge condemnation to the Czech Pirate Party or a condemnation to the Czech left in general, but it's a condemnation to the establishment, the globalists in Prague, whatever you want to call it. It's the big establishment. You also have SPD losing 5. That's far right, neo-fascism, anti-immigration. Yeah, I think that's what you will call the fringe right. Okay, we don't necessarily back the fringe right. We will back the ANO though, because they're actually conservative. All these are fake. All these, like ODS stand, they're fake conservatives. Maybe ODS. I need to learn more. Center right, right wing. I would compare this to the Conservative Party in the UK and the Conservative Party in Norway and Canada. I don't take their word for it. Knowing how Europe is being smack in the middle of Europe, you could only assume such deal. And you're seeing a massive leave from the ODS, a massive exchange to the party here, the ANO, otherwise known as the right-wing populist party there. And it just as might happen that the ANO will become the next, will actually lead. But it's unclear because you just have very close results. As Wikipedia has made it clear, the ANO has failed to enter parliament, meaning they failed to claim the majority. You need 101 seats. And let's be honest, they're trying to spin this as this is so bad for the ANO. Well, you haven't had a majority in parliament in a very, 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 very long time. Okay? Like, going all the way back, I don't think you've had a majority in the Czech parliament ever. So, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they all gained up on the ANO. We do know how the establishment works. But best believe, if, let's just say, Andrej Babiš becomes the prime minister, the head of state of, the official head of state of the Czech Republic, relations will skyrocket. We will officially recover our relations, because right now we're down in the dumps because the Czech Republic is run by neoconservatives. Okay, they're run by neocons, the globalists. They are critical of U.S. foreign policy. They do not like that we are we're trying to play both sides when it comes to Russia and Ukraine, give Russia some benefit of the doubt. Czech Republic wants to throw their drones and to help Poland. And I'm thinking, that's not really the best way to do things. And we flipped Slovakia last year. Actually, it was 2023 because Robert Fico is officially the head of state of Slovakia. But Slovakia, and of course, we didn't flip Moldova. The globalists won in Moldova. Although a lot of people on this channel did prefer her to win over the left-wing candidate. But you do have a better result and impact here because Czech Republic is such an impactful country in the West. It's such an impactful country when it comes to... It's a country that the globalists want because it is a country of resources and all that stuff. They have a lot of leadership roles in NATO and in the EU. So having them being a anti-globalist advocate is very, very good. Very good. And you can clearly see that it was a sweeping landslide. You have just Prague right here. It went to the more lukewarm conservative candidate. You got this area right here. Don't know what that area is called. This is Prague as it is. The ANO carried every single province in the Czech Republic as it is. So this was a big win for that. And as you can see, you got some at-large or abroad results. Right in the corner, you'll see that really, no surprise, the world will back the ODS, okay? Because they're the globalist party. They are the more moderates. So you can clearly see in the Western Hemisphere, the ODS did very well over here. Europe, of course, favored, and Russia backs the ANO, as well as the country of Iraq. See if there's any other. There might be some tied countries over there, but Belarus too. And I'm not against Russia backing the ANO. You know, it's better to have countries that are aligned with Russia in NATO. Why? Why is that? Because that de-escalates the tensions. This is why I just laugh at the left when they make it so bad. Oh, it's so bad, horrible. When Viktor Orban is trying to get close and be pro-Russia. It's so bad. No, he's trying to de-escalate. You also have Robert Fico in Slovakia. We need peace. We need peace. You also have President Orhan in Turkey. And not necessarily being a Russian adversary, but a friend. A NATO country being a friend. And I'm not opposed to that. Good job, Turkey, for trying to implement good relations. I'm just saying we need to de-escalate. And obviously the globalists are just so unhinged. They want us to go to war over the most pettiest and most stupidest reasons. So 100% against that. But you can clearly see a very overwhelming victory for the ANO. The Wikipedia article wants to frame it as something like, oh, you failed to get to parliament. Well, no, of course they failed, because the climate is in Czechoslovakia is not designed for one party to get into parliament, okay? To actually control the Chamber of Deputies. 101, that would be a ruling party, forever ruling party. If you get past 101, expect to be in power forever. I don't think ANO is going to be in power forever. I really hope they are in power. They have the most seats in the Czech parliament. But I do hope the leadership is going to be the ANO. And just because the ANO had the most seats, important to be real here, that does not mean at all that, we're going to be winning. The prime minister is going to be a conservative. He's going to be in an ANO. No, it does not. It does give him a shot. The parliament will vote. But let's be honest. You could see the ODS and the Stand Party unite to try to take out the ANO. You might get the Pirates Party. You might try to get the SPD. Which is actually, SPD could back the ANO. Although the SPD says that the ANO is not far right enough. So I don't know. They might abstain. But you also have the Otto Party, another right-wing party. So you got a pretty compatible race, as it is. So what do you guys think in regards to this video about the Czech parliament election? It's a huge win for the right, for sure. It's a huge win. And there's one thing if it was like the president, or it was like a non-head of state election, where, the president usually has the power to meet with world leaders, but doesn't really have that power to be an executive. But this is clearly a brutal blow to the globalists. Now, the globalists just gotta hope that there is a coalition against the ANO so that they get the prime minister. So we're going to have to see how that goes. And if it happens, it's something to celebrate. It really is. So what do you guys think in regards to this video? Let me know down below. And as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.